friends, this video on squares and square roots part 18 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Let's look at the second option that we have, and that is the prime factorization method. So I hope all of you remember what is prime factorization. If you are given a number, you can write that number in terms of product of its prime factors. That is factors of number which are also prime numbers. So if you have forgotten how to do prime factorization, you can refer the mathematics videos of class 6th. Okay, so for now, let's take an example. So let's say that you have to find out square root of 100. So we are taking a simpler example to understand it for now. So our first step would be to prime factorize 100. So how do we do prime factorization? By dividing it by the smallest possible prime number such that that prime number exactly divides this number 100. So in this case, that smallest prime number would be 2. So 2 into 50 is 100. Further again it would be 2. So 2 into 25 would be 50. Then it is not 2, not 3, because 3 doesn't divide 25 completely. Then it would be 5. So 5 into 5 is 25, and then 5 into 1. So therefore, you can say 100 can be written as 2 into 2 into 5 into 5. So 2 into 2 into 5 into 5. So how many times we have 2? So 2 multiplied to itself, that is 2 square. Similarly, 5 multiplied to itself is 5 square. So 2 square into 5 square is actually 2 into 5 whole square. So 2 into 5 is 10. So we see that 100 is equal to 10 square. So that means if I want to get 100 from 10, we square 10. So if we want to get 10 from 100, we will have to find its square root. So square root of 100 is equal to 10. So in this fashion, we can also find out square root. So looking at this method itself, you would have seen that it is a more organized method and a better method, of course, than the repeated subtraction method. So let us take one more example. So this time, let's take a bigger number. So let's say you have to find out square root of 7744. So let's prime factorize it, 7744. So it will get divided by 2. 2 into 3872 gives 7744. Then again 2 1s are 2, 2 9s are 18, 2 3s are 6, 2 6s are 12. Then again 2 9s are 18, 2 6s are 12, 2 8s are 16. Then again 2 into 4 is 8, 2 8s are 16, 2 4s are 8. Again 2 2s are 4, 2 4s are 8, 2 2s are 4. 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2. And then this 121 is not divisible by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but it is divisible by 11. Now for such cases, you know what you can do is when you have 1 at the end, so it is very obvious that it is not divisible by 2, 4, 6 or 8. It is also not divisible by 10. So you are left with very few options, that is 3, 7 and 11. So you try only those numbers, right? So that you do not waste a lot of time. So therefore, looking at this, you can say that 7744 is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. So you have 6 times 2 and 2 times 11. So now you make pairs of 2 so that it makes our job easier. So a pair of 2 is 2 square. Again, another pair of 2 is a 2 square again. One more pair of 2, 2 square, and then a pair of 11, which is 11 square. So this can be written as 2 into 2 into 2 into 11 whole square. So therefore, we can say root over 7744 will be equal to 2 into 2 into 2 into 11, which is equal to 88. So therefore, square root of 7744 is equal to 88. So you see, this is a more convenient method to find out square root of a number. Now, with the help of this prime factorization method, you can even find out whether a given number is a perfect square or not. So this is another way. Because what might happen is you might sometimes come across numbers for which you are unable to find the square root. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you are given a number 220 and I asked you to find out the square root of 220. So as per process, you will do its prime factorization. So 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2, 0, and then 2 fives are 10, 2 fives are 10, 5 11s are 55. So 220 can be written as 2 into 2 into 5 into 11. Now when you look at this, you see that 2 exists in pairs, so you can write it as 2 square. But 5 doesn't exist in pair. Similarly, 11 doesn't exist in pair. So therefore, we are not able to write 220 as square of some number. Only when we are able to write it as square of some number, only that means that 220 is a perfect square. But in this case, we are unable to write 220 as a square of a single number. This shows that 220 is not a perfect square. Now, if 220 is not a perfect square, we will never be able to get the square root of 220. Like, you will not get a whole number for square root of 220. So now if I ask you that, is there any way that you can find out the nearest perfect square? So, okay, we got it that 220 is not a perfect square. So what do you think could be a perfect square somewhere near to 220? Now, to find out a perfect square, one option is you either divide 220 by 5 into 11, because if you divide 220 by 5 into 11, what will happen? This 5 and 11 will vanish, so you will be left with 2 to the power 2, which is 4, which is a perfect square. Another option is you multiply 220. So there are two options. Option 1 is divide 220 by 5 into 11. So if you divide 220 by 5 into 11, what will happen? This 5 into 11 will vanish and you will be left with 4, which is a perfect square. The second option is you multiply 220 by 5 into 11. In that case, what will happen? In that case, you will get 2 5, that is 5 square. You will get 2 11, that is 11 square. So in this case, so when you do this, the 220 number changes to 4. So 4 is a perfect square. And when you do this, then the number 220 changes to what number? It becomes 220 into 5 into 11. And this number becomes equal to 2 square into 5 square into 11 square, because this time you have multiplied it with 5 by 11. So this becomes 2 into 5 into 11 whole square. That is 110 whole square. So if you follow the second option, you get 110 whole square, which is a perfect square. If you follow the first option, you get 2 square, which is 4, which is a perfect square. So therefore, for non-perfect square, if you ever come across this situation where when you prime factorize a given number, you are not able to see that number as a square of a whole number, that means that number is not a perfect square. But if you still want to get a perfect square from that number, then you either need to multiply or divide that number with this extra part of the number, because in this case this 220 is not a perfect square because of this extra part, 5 into 11. So this is the extra part which is not allowing it to be a perfect square. So you either divide this number by this extra part or you multiply this number by this extra part. In that case, this becomes the number gets converted into a perfect square number. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com for free quality education. You can learn with a simple 4-step learning process wherein you can watch video lessons, you can ask your questions, you can refer notes, and you can take a free online test. We have content for class 6 to 12 on physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology along with practical videos. So please subscribe to our channel for daily updates. Thank you. So question time again.